Right, so it's been around about a week now since we put the glyphosate down on this lawn, and it's about time we started the prep for the new space that we're going to be developing. So if you did watch last week's video, you'll know that we got on this with some Roundup weed killer, the glyphosate, and you can see a lot of the grass has started to turn yellow. Now, what you can do is leave this grass to actually go completely yellow before you actually cut it off and rake it out, or you can get on and do the exact same thing right now. And the reason behind that is the fact that the product has already done its thing pretty much. The plant has absorbed that glyphosate and it started to kill it from the inside out. By getting on today with the lawnmower and taking off the actual bit of grass that is sort of left, it's only taking off part of the plant that's dying. It's not going to remove the glyphosate that's within the rest of the plant that goes down into the soil profile. Some people will disagree online, but you'll see in a few weeks time when we change the space that it absolutely is dead. So first protocol, we're going to give this lawn a cut, or what's left of it anyway, and then we'll get on with the Scarify and rip it up within an inch of its life. Oh, and I do need to mention as well, just before we get started, we were going to seed this lawn from scratch, but we're not going to be doing that anymore. Instead, we've got some turf that's coming next week, so we're going to prep the space today, and then we'll be able to get on with the new turf, and it might be something that you don't see a lot of on YouTube. You see a lot of turf videos, but this turf is going to be just a little bit different. Didn't record that last bit then, but I probably should have, to be honest. I've just raked the entire space with a leaf rake, because when I was going on with the mower, I heard the odd ding from a stone or two knocking about, and I'm telling you now, more stones on here than, geez, in these beds. So the landscapers, when they've come in, they just don't know what they put down, but stones all over the place. But now we've raked most of them up. Time's going with the Scarify. I'm going to put on the lowest possible setting to rip this space to bits. So that's quite interesting. Just found this as I was scarifying, heard the blade nick something really hard, and I've just, there it is, there's the nick mark. I don't know if you can see it on camera there, but just pulled this out of the ground. Well, it's a massive chunk of rock. There's another piece next to it as well. So that's quite interesting. Landscaper comes in, puts some soil down over the top of clay soil, but fails to remove what seems to be a ginormous rock in the soil. Nice one, landscaper, cheers for that. Good job, I've got some soil in the garage that I can use to actually fill that. Another one, brilliant. Listen to this. Okay, there on the camera then. Fingers crossed, I don't know. That is not soil, that is a rock. If you're going to do a job, you're meant to do it properly, aren't you? That's the saying. Don't just do something for the sake of it. A lot of landscapers take on far too many jobs. Obviously, I'm not a landscaper by trade. This is the neighbour's garden, so I'm taking my time. I'm getting it right. If it's your garden, just get it right. Now, I just want to say the actual turf we're getting onto this space is bent fescue turf, and it's going to be proper, you know, amazing quality. I've unplugged this, by the way, in case anyone thinks I'm going to blow up, and I'm hoping to get a cylinder mower in the next couple of months, which means I'll be able to get on this lawn and cylinder mow it, and hopefully we'll have a really nice lawn to work with. And it's moments like this now where I'm very glad that I've decided to actually prep the soil as opposed to just lashing a bit of seed down, because I seem to have hit a bit of fabric. Now, this is the type of fabric some developers use for like things like French drains and pipes under the ground and whatnot, perforated pipes, really thick material. It's the same stuff the housing developers put under my lawn, but that's just got jammed in the scarifier, and it wasn't even deep in the soil. These are only going a few mil into the actual soil profile itself. So that has been sitting there for how many years? 5 years, roughly. If not, it's something the landscaper put down. I would have got on and actually aerated this space today, as well as doing this scarification, but my soon-to-be mother-in-law turns 60 in a few days, so tonight we're going out for something to eat, hence why I'm doing half a job. But if your soon-to-be mother-in-law isn't turning 60 this weekend and you're doing a job like this, you can do it all in one day, but that's going to be coming up shortly. You don't have to wait for a second video for that. If you don't have all these tools yourself, you can use a landscaping rake like this, which will pretty much do the same job as you want it to do. Still move around the material, gets a nice level surface. You can use the teeth end just to move some of that soil, and the flat edge to smooth it. I use one of these when I leveled my lawn for the first time in the garden. It's a brilliant bit of kit. You don't really need anything more than this. You're talking £40 from Screwfix or Tool Station. One of the best things you'll end up picking up. I've always said a landscaping rake and a mattock. If I only had those two tools, I could do anything in a garden. This is quite expensive. Some people say to me, oh, you act like you made the money buying these tools. Not made the money, I just buy tools over time. Every year I might buy 1 or 2 expensive tools, and that's the best way to build up your arsenal, let's say, of lawn care equipment. There's so many YouTubers out there who have everything and they're like, well, look what I can do with the most expensive equipment known to man. You're just starting out as a hair, it's doing me nothing. Dog hair. You're just starting out with lawn care and you're thinking, oh, I don't have all these tools. Go back and watch my back catalogue of videos and watch where I came from. My first lawnmower was a challenge lawnmower, that's what it's called, from Argos. A yellow thing which wheels used to bend like this and scalp the lawn every single time, even on some of the higher settings. And now I have some half decent stuff. So if you're in that sort of position, just take your time. Don't buy everything day one. Get stuff as and when you need it, and you'll end up with some decent tools. And like I said, you don't need all of them, don't need all the fancy equipment, but if you're into lawn care and you want to buy them, go for it. Don't let anyone stop you. Unless you're getting married in 2 months' time and you want to buy a cylinder mower and you're trying to justify it in the budget. It's an essential item, I think. Can't get married without a cylinder mower, surely. So there we go, that's the first part of the prep that we've done. We've scarified it within an inch of its life. We've actually raked around all that material now, and to be honest, it's relatively smooth. I mean, once I get the turf down, it'll look half decent and it'll eventually start to settle in places, and that's just then when we'll end up top dressing, just to bring up certain levels here and there as we go. But so far so good. So the next thing we're going to do then is we're going to, like I said before, hollow tine aerate the entire space. We use the scarifier to actually pulverize those cores. We'll rake around again, get the soil nice and airy, ready for the delivery of turf next week. So like I've just said, this part of the process is absolutely key. We're getting some air down into the soil. The roots of the new turf is going to have a place to go. So that's another reason why we're punching all these holes in. But you know, it takes so long to do something like this. So even though this part of the video is probably less than a minute, in reality it took around about 2.5 to 3 hours to punch all the holes in. It was back-breaking, it was hot, it wasn't very enjoyable, but it's probably the most important thing you can do in preparation for actually getting turf down, particularly if you're not adding any additional topsoil or anything like that into the space. So I didn't do an outro for this video, so I'm doing it retrospectively. If you did enjoy today's video, feel free to give it a like, and if you'd like to follow along with the rest of this renovation, and if you'd like to see what it's actually looking like once we actually get the turf down in this space, feel free to subscribe. Finally, thanks for watching.